My name is Lilly Irani. I'm an assistant professor at UC San Diego in communication and science studies. And I'm back at Digital Labor 2014 after having presented here as a graduate student in 2009. So it's been really nice to see how the conversation has changed and be able to talk to some of the same people about the way some of our projects have changed, expanded. So one of the things that I presented on here was a kind of follow-up to what I presented in 2009, which was the project Turkopticon. Turkopticon is a project that I did with Six Silberman, a graduate student at UC Irvine, and he's still the backbone of that project. So what Turkopticon allows mechanical Turk crowd workers to do is to review the employers that they find in the marketplace with whom they work. So that as other workers are going through and trying to decide, do I work for this person, they can see, does this person have a reputation for wage theft, for clear tasks, for communicating with workers, for acting in ways that are understandable and non-arbitrary. So when I presented Turkopticon in 2009, it had like 80 users, and now we have 22,000 users in a month, and it's something that really is one of the main forums, along with Turk Nation, Turk Grind, Turk Forum, where workers provide mutual aid, socialize, try to figure out what they want the norms for what they're going to push employers to kind of provide for them to be. So that's a project that's really grown. But what I talked about yesterday were some of the unintended consequences of being an activist project that's also a technology project that gets profiled in media coverage and academic discourse about futures of digital labor, about activism, what needs to happen. Because one of the unintended consequences was that when journalists would write about Turkopticon, a common trope would be, oh, look at crowdsourcing, this industry that's super exploitative. This is a problem that techies have created. Oh, look at Turkopticon, this tool that got created also by techies. So techies screwed us up, but now techies can come along and save us. And then in the middle of all that, the article headline is something like, dawn of the digital sweatshop, workers are being treated so poorly. Like, workers' voices were rarely part of the articles, even when I pushed journalists to interview workers because they would have trouble accessing them, or they had deadlines, or they're producing articles under shorter and shorter time cycles to fit into like the blog, commodity, controversy, economy. So in the middle of all this, workers would get kind of presented as dupes, or as people without agency, as people who may not be intelligent. And that completely reinforces the mistaken and exploitative presentation of workers within the tech industry and human computation as people who, have very generalized skills, but they can do a lot of data processing work well. So one of the things I talked about yesterday was some of what we've done to kind of change how we present Turkopticon. If somebody wants to do an article on Turkopticon, we refuse to do it unless they're going to go interview workers, unless they're going to interview people who actually run these other forums like Zingy, like Spam Girl, like Rochelle LaPlante, who came and spoke, who are all moderators of various forums. Because they're the ones who've also been doing a lot of the institution building and kind of mutual aid that Turkopticon doesn't do, because Turkopticon just does reviews. And these other forums are really where a lot of Turkers spend their days figuring out how to survive and make do in this digital economy. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks.